I'm Steury, and I teach in the education department here, and I'm also assistant dean for faculty development. And I don't know many of you very well, so I thought I'd begin tonight by asking you some intimate questions. Are you ready? Who wants to be first? All right, my first question. Do I have any cookie lovers here today? Are any of you cookie lovers? Okay, good. Now, I want you to think of your favorite kind of cookie. All right, now just imagine it. Picture your favorite kind of cookie. All right. Let's see. Heather, what kind did you picture?
Chocolate chip.
Oh my goodness, you're going to think she's a plant. All right, good. I'm going to come back to you in a minute, okay. Heather. Did anybody think of a cookie other than chocolate chip? Steve?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Oh, that's a favorite. Any other favorites? Yeah.
Graham crackers with fudge on the outside.
That sounds good too.
But it's not specific.
Is it Kevin?
Yeah,
Oreo.
Oreo. Oh, he's easy to please. Yeah,
Girl Scout Thin Mints out of the freezer.
Okay, good answers. Well, Heather came up with the one I'm looking for right away, chocolate chip. I wonder how many of you really enjoy a good chocolate chip cookie? Wow, hot out of the oven. Well, can't help you with that. Now, Heather, since you, would you come up, Heather? And I want you to look at my cookies. I made these myself, all right? And I want you to take a look. Heather, now look them over and pick the one that looks good to you. Okay, that one, hold it up so they can see it. All right, who else just loves chocolate chip cookies? Come on, let's see your hand. Come on up. And is your name Mitch? Come on up, Mitch. I didn't want Heather to be here alone. Now look them over and pick one that you like. Okay, and hold it up so they can see. All right, now Heather, this is a scientific question. Tell me what was it about that particular cookie that made you choose it? Or what is it that you're looking for in a delicious chocolate chip cookie? What makes it really ring your bell?
You can see lots of chips in it, and I like ones that are a little bit doughy and not overly crispy. Not a fan of the crispy cookie.
Okay, but you want a lot of chips.
Yes.
And a little bit a little soft. Okay. And Mitch, what are you looking for?
I was almost the opposite, because I chose mine to be a little darker because I didn't want it to fall apart.
Oh, okay.
So I chose it to be a little crispy.
Okay. Is there anything else that you're thinking of?
Eating it.
Eating it. All right, you guys can go back and eat your cookies. All right, now let's kind of summarize. So far, a delicious chocolate chip cookie has lots of chocolate chips. And what should we call that? They both talked about, Heather liked hers a little doughy and Mitch liked his a little crisp. Are those about, would you call that texture?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So they're interested in the texture. And I think Mitch mentioned he liked his a little bit darker. So did you notice the color? Color. Anything else you can think of that we didn't?
It wasn't bigger.
Size. Is it the bigger the better, or what size do we like? All right, now I want you to take note of my cookies, especially the unchosen cookies, all right? And then I want you to, in a minute, I'm going back to the board, and I want you to tell me why some of those cookies just didn't get picked. What's wrong with some of those cookies? Why? Burn. Oh, some of them look burned. Yeah. Are there some cookies there you wouldn't want? Look them over. Okay, now we're going to say, what are some of the things you noticed about the unchosen cookies? Okay, I think we said, oh, they were too dark. They were, in fact, burned. Oh, don't you hate that? Because not only do they look ugly, but what does it affect?
Taste.
Okay. And did you notice anything else about those dark cookies? Maybe they were so dark you didn't notice.
No chips.
Hardly any chips at all. Oh my, black chips. I did put a few in there so that I could, you know, truly call them chocolate chip cookies. But I mean, I bet there are whole cookies there that have maybe one chip and a few little nuts. That would not satisfy a real cookie lover, would it? Is there anything else that you noticed about the bad cookie, or the unchosen cookies?
The size.
What was wrong with the size?
Well, the one was really just hardly, just all stretched out and no, no meat to it. You know?
Right, it was so thin, wasn't it? And it kind of broke around the edges. Yeah, too thin. You know, no body. Something was just not really very good. So you guys really know a lot about cookies. I'm impressed. Okay, now, if at your tables, you notice you have a little response board there, would one brave person at each table pick up that whiteboard and a pen, and I'm going to give you a little task every table. So pick somebody who's going to record. Everybody's going to contribute, but one person will record. I want you to make a list of cookie elements, all right, that are important to you at your table. When you're choosing cookies, what are the elements that you're going to evaluate? What's important? You can take some off my board, and there probably are others we didn't put up there. All right, I'm going to give you just like 2 minutes. Go. Are we ready to kind of report a little bit? Heather, give me 2 or 3 things from your list that your table think are important cookie elements when you're deciding what cookie you eat.
No, it's funny. Packaging, brand, and freshness.
Is that all one thing? Are those
Nope,
3
that's
things?
3 things.
Okay, you're interested in packaging. Tell me more about that. I'm surprised about that one.
Just if the packaging is appealing, if you know the way the cookie looks in the package is appealing.
So you're thinking of getting it at the grocery store.
Possibly.
Okay.
Yeah, however it's presented.
Okay, packaging and
Brand.
brand.
And certain brands carry more weight, like a Mrs. Fields or something like that. You sort of know that, oh, this is going to be good.
Okay.
And then freshness.
Oh, you want it to be fresh. Okay, so those are all important things when picking out a cookie. I'm sorry, what's your name?
Mark?
Mark. What about your table? Would you report?
Yeah. What else?
At least 3 things, and not 3 things other than what they said.
We'll do other. Let's see, appearance.
Okay. What's a good appearance?
Depends on the buyer. But
What do you like?
I would go in between what these 2 said. I like a firm cookie, but a little bit chewy.
There we go. Firm. Oh, I don't know.
You eat 20 to
Whoops. She likes firm but chewy. Okay, do you have anything else down?
Yeah, ingredients. medical tech.
Okay. And anything in particular about them?
No, we whatever's not healthy, we thought we thought.
Okay. So that is actually where I was going. So you want to, should we make it out of real butter?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so that imitation stuff, no, okay.
And if you want one more, we'd say quantity, because 1 is not enough.
Okay, they want them in abundance. Okay, now it's hard to be the 3rd table. Did you guys have anything else?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, is it Jody?
Amanda.
Amanda, this
Close.
is Jody. Amanda.
We said origin. In other words, if we don't know you and your cleanliness, we probably aren't going to eat your cookie.
Okay. Yeah, you know, we can't bring origin, is that right? We can't bring snacks to school anymore. We can't bake cupcakes for our children and send them. It has to be something packaged. All right?
Is it dippable?
Dippable. Oh my, dippable.
The toppings. No, it doesn't.
Dippability, okay.
Sort of along the lines of appearance, but quantity and likability of the toppings. So whether it has frosting or sprinkles or half
okay.
dipped, half not.
So the toppings mean something to you. Okay, good. Oh, wow. I want you to see that there's just so many cookie elements or things that we consider when we're selecting cookies. Now at your tables again, I want you to think if you had to pick the top 3 things that make a delicious cookie, and you can only choose the 3 most important. All right, now you can take from the big list, you can take from your own list, but erase your board and come up with just the 3 that you think are the most significant components in an excellent chocolate chip cookie. 3?
Yep.
Oh, you do? Okay. All right, now, on the rubric shell, so there's one person at every table who has your rubric shell. Along this side, it says performance area. All right, I want you to think about your 3 cookie elements. Put the most significant cookie element up here in this box, the next most significant, and then the 3rd most significant. So you're putting your cookie elements along this side of the rubric shell. Along the top, you see there's a rating 4, a rating 3, a rating 2, a rating 1. Now, when we create a rubric, we are going to put the best descriptors of the ideal, most delicious cookies in the rating 4 column. So now, what I want you to do is, what's the first thing in your group?
Taste.
Amanda? I mean, they love taste. If it doesn't taste good, it's out, not even in the running. So what you are going to do now is describe that. What does a top-rated taste? What are the descriptors of that? And then of the next level cookie, still, pretty good cookie, but not quite as excellent as the most delicious cookie. And then you describe the taste that isn't quite as good, and then the really awful taste. All right, so you're going to have to put descriptors in this box that go with taste at the top rating, the 4, the 3, the 2, the 1. You have to attach words that describe these categories. Now, what questions do you have before I put you back to work? Okay, go. Cookie element and read across for us. So every table, you're not going to read all 3. Just pick one that you think is maybe worth a laugh. And read that one. All right? Oh, they're voting. Are you guys ready?
Oh, definitely.
Go, go.
Go.
Is Amanda or Jody's reading?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go, Jody.
I'll just do the first one. We did taste. For 4, we said rich, chocolatey, and sweet. For 3, we did some chocolate, some richness. A 2 was minimal chocolate, salty, and fairly edible. And a 1 was bland and cardboard.
You think they got their idea across? Okay. John, or no, who's got Mitch?
I'll do it. I don't go read my writing. We put freshness, right out of the oven, warm appearance, and superior taste. Underneath the 3, we put out of the Tupperware package, or 1 to 2 days old freshness. For the number 2 rating, we put store-bought inside a package, or 3 to 4 days old if it was homemade. And the number 1 rating, we put the package was left open, or it was over 5 days, or the Saturday plate is what you call it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't you hate it when the package has been left open and you buy it? If we actually want to employ something like this, we would have to assign points. And you notice at the bottom of your shell, there's a little place where we would do the scoring. I'm not going to talk about scoring yet, though. I want to congratulate you, though. It sounds like every group was successful. You have now created a rubric. All right? You did it. You are masters of chocolate chip rubrics. So, let me ask you some questions now. Think about what we just did. All right, and who wants to take a stab at this? Based on this experience that we just had together, would anyone like to take a stab at defining what a rubric is? Anybody want to define it? Or start defining it? Tell me something about it.
Rating system.
It's a rating
A
system
descriptor.
with descriptors. What else do we know?
Benchmark.
Okay, it has an element of benchmarking in it. Anything else can we add to our definition?
It's a tool
It's a tool. How is it a tool, Steve?
for grading easily.
Okay,
Well, and for helping the students see what you're looking for.
wonderful. You are on to my next question.
Sorry.
No, that's good. I'll go to it. The next question is, why might creating rubrics be beneficial beyond their use in evaluating chocolate chip cookies? All right, now Steve, say again loud and clear what you just said. Or any of those ideas you have.
It's a tool for helping teachers grade and helping students see what you're expecting.
Okay, tell us more about the student aspect. How does it help a student?
Well, if they have it ahead of time, they can, instead of taking a wild stab at trying to read your mind, they can say, okay, if I'm making chocolate chip cookies, she wants rich, chocolatey, and sweet baked today, monster cookie, you know, not cardboard and stale and size of a quarter.
Size of a quarter?
That was our #1 rating.
It's not a very big cookie.
No.
Oh, okay.
Exactly, that's a one.
Oh, that was the bad.
That's
Oh,
where I
okay.
said not.
Oh, not, okay, good. I thought, oh gosh, they really want them that little?
No.
Good. So do I know, if I'm baking cookies for Steve and he just articulated that and I'm a student in his class, I'm learning to be the best chocolate chip baker I can be, do I know what I'm supposed to do? Is it clear to me? Okay. So when I understand what I'm supposed to do, am I more or less likely to give Steve a good product? More likely. If I give Steve a good product and it's a term paper and not a chocolate chip cookie, is it going to take him longer to grade my good product or longer to grade my poor product? How many of you have graded papers before? Which takes longer? The poor ones. Why do the poor ones take so long? Austin, why do they?
You have to make all the corrections. You have to continually write and get very discouraged.
And do you find yourself writing the same comment over and over and over again? And you think, why am I doing all the work? You know, I'm rewriting a paper and I already know how to write papers. You know, I'm stealing the learning experience from the student. Okay, so if I have a rubric, I get a better product from the students because they know what I'm looking for. It saves me time because I don't need to write the same comments over and over. Is there anything else that helps by having that benchmark established?
Consistency.
Yeah, and why is that important?
Well, it's not as subjective. If you're just giving a letter grade or a 90 or an 80, whatever, you've got a measure and you're using that same measure with all the students.
Right, so I'm probably grading much more fairly because I'm consistent. You know, otherwise sometimes if you're grading a whole big stack, you just get a little grumpy after you've been discouraged and maybe you aren't remaining consistent. Maybe you're just getting a little harsher as you go along. If we have a rubric, ideally, whether Austin grades the paper or I grade the paper, we should get the same result because we're looking at these established criteria and saying, do I see this? Do I see this? Do I see this? So it's more fair, more consistent, impartial. It helps the student get better products. Let me see if anything else that I wrote down here. Oh, you know what else? You know those kids that knock on your door and you put a B on their paper? You know what they're going to say? What do they say? Why did I get a B on this paper? All right. What happens if you have marked a rubric? Yeah. You can show them, or they might not even knock. They might say, oh yeah, I didn't do the citation the way it was supposed to be. That's why I got those points taken off. You know, and it's clear right away. You know, so some of that nitpicking that instructors look forward to might not take place. Okay, now, so you were able to give me a pretty good definition of rubrics and tell me why they're beneficial.